Hey, you got the bad apple and the producer extraordinaire 40 hyphen fine.
Howdy.
Howdy hyphen. How'd you like that? Howdy hyphen.
That's good.
Howdy hyphen. It's like a sing song. Howdy hyphen, howdy hyphen. I could make like a whole jingle on that. Would you like that?
No.
No, probably not. So we won't do that. But we'll start off with our new normal. This is our new normal warning. The content that you're about to hear, the language that you're about to hear, and pretty much just myself. Because 40's generally not so much, but me, yeah, we're just not appropriate for anyone under the age of, let's say, 17. So, if you're under the age of 17, just stay the fuck away from me. You know? Your parents can listen. Your aunts and uncles. Maybe some older cousins. Your grandparents, they'd probably shut me off too, because the first fuck bomb I dropped, they'd go, "Oh, what's that lady saying?" and shut the thing off. So, I'm inappropriate and you shouldn't be listening. So don't. Okay? Okay, deal? Done. All right, let's move on. Moving forward. So, the last podcast, we talked about old school and these new reality TV bullshit crap.
Good. Bullshit crap.
I don't know how else to represent that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because it's bullshit crap. There's not much good. Well, I don't know. You know, I kind of like the cooking TV shows, but I like cooking, so I'd be skinny if I didn't like to cook. You think?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't have. You can cook and not eat a lot. Yeah.
No, not the way I cook. Food's too good. It's just facts. Just facts. So let's move forward. So we kind of took off from that, and we even kind of hinted to it when we talked about cars, the differences in cars, when we were talking about the Wonder Years. You know? So we're kind of going to talk about the differences between cars, you know, like old Detroit heavy metal, and the new spaceships that drive around town now. Although, according to the Jetsons, we should be driving cars that fly now. So, or we could be like Marty McFly and have a time travel machine in a DeLorean right now. That's not happening either.
No.
Oh, it'd be mighty fucking cool if it did. Would you go back in time?
Yeah.
Would you go back to your high school self?
No, I go back to the 70s.
I'd
want to live in
Wait.
I would want to grow up in the 70s as a teenager, graduate in the 70s.
Really?
Oh, yeah. People had a good time back then.
Oh. True.
And they didn't dress, well, they didn't always dress better, but they wore suits and stuff when there was a function. They didn't go with, yoga pants on and a hoodie.
I know, that's what everybody does. Like, we dressed up last night for dinner.
Yeah.
And we went to a pretty nice place. Plate of food, $30 a piece.
Yeah, it's a nice joint.
It was a nice place. We dressed fairly nice. But there were people in there in shorts and t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, like they were going to Dave Matthews concert,
Yeah. I was really shocked because I've gone there many, many times, and this is the first year I've seen them so casual. Like, I've never been there and had it so cash. So I was kind of shocked. But we're not here to talk about that, although the food was so flipping good.
Yeah, it was.
It was, wasn't it? We'll go there again, won't we?
Yeah.
It was your first experience.
Great food, shitty parking.
Yeah, great food, shitty parking. So if you have, I'm going to say the name of the place because why not? Right?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
So the place is called Krista, Krista''S. It's in Cornish, Maine. Food is out of this world. It is on the pricier end, but it is totally worth it. You never leave there hungry. If you leave there hungry, then there's something wrong with you.
You get a tapeworm.
Yeah, it's a problem. And I enjoyed a delicious strawberry mojito. And it tasted like another, but I controlled myself. I only had one. But it was so worth it to not take all my medication yesterday so I could drink that mojito. But anyway, so we've digressed. We're going to talk about cars today, which is one of my favorite topics in the world. I love cars. Cars, oh, I swear motor oil runs through my veins. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I'm like a 10W30 girl.
Yeah, Pennzoil.
Like the best you can get. I got some high performance motor oil running through my veins. What do you think?
Yeah, you got high performance gas.
No, you have high performance gas, young man.
I got jet fuel.
The shit that comes out of your ass. All right, so let's just start first off. What is your very favorite old car?
Old?
Yeah, it can be a classic car. It can be an antique car. Whatever your very favorite is.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Super B.
1970.
70.
So you're going with the even 70.
4-speed pistol grip.
Yeah, what size engine? You going with huh?
No, go ahead.
Going with the traditional 440?
Yeah.
440, 4-speed, pistol grip?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice. What color? If you can have any color.
That one's hard. Like a Charger, I'd say orange, but this one's... Because I've seen like two-tone ones that look really good. I saw one that was kind of like a custard. The base was custard. And then they had where the doors are was black.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's different. But
so that's a custom paint job.
Probably a red with white, like that kind of red up there, like my car.
Like the kind of red they can't see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like a maroon.
Like a deep red.
Yeah, deep.
Like a deep red. Okay. What would be your choice for... I know this is a hard one because neither of us are big fans of new cars. But what would be your choice if you had to have a brand new car? Any brand new car, money doesn't matter. And where you live doesn't matter.
And probably... I don't know. I was thinking about a Challenger. But I don't know. Maybe a Mercedes.
A Mercedes?
Like a luxury, yeah.
Yeah, 2-door, 4-door?
I'd probably go with 4.
4, yeah, because you have to think about kids.
Yeah, I'm just...
What if you didn't have kids?
Two-seater.
Like, what if you didn't have... I'm never saying, what if you didn't have kids? What if you didn't have to worry about the kids?
I get a 2-door.
Then you get a 2-door?
Yeah.
You really be styling?
Yeah.
Would you get a drop top? Convertible?
Well, I'd get the hard shell one.
The hard top, drop top?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I could see you rolling in that.
But I would not get it. I don't think they make them with diesel anymore, do they?
No, I don't think so. But I'd have to look because I'm not really a new car person.
I don't like diesel. I don't like the sound of it. I don't like the smell of it.
Yeah.
They're
Not
fine.
true, though.
They're trucks. They're for trucks, not cars.
Yeah, trucks should have diesel. Well, not that they should. Anybody can have whatever they want. I don't care. I'm not here to judge you. Well, not in front of you, though. But just behind your back. Unless you have a diesel truck and you're going to blow coal on me. I don't want that. But I will say, my favorite, and y'all probably all know this because I say this all the time. My favorite car, 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. And if I had it, I would want it to be green. The lime green.
White interior.
White interior. White vinyl top. With a Hemi. And a pistol grip 4-speed. Yeah. Yeah. And I would roll around in that thing like badassery.
That'd be funny if you had little kids and you brought them to like a parent teacher, or you dropped them off at school.
I would
roll up in that shit.
I'd roll up in that. I'd roll up in that with my grandchildren. I don't care. Although I'll probably never have grandchildren. But if I did, I'd be damn proud to roll up in that.
All right, so.
But if I had a new car, brandy new,
I know.
if I had to pick a brand new car, you know, I would. See, I don't think I'd go the sports car route. Because they're all so low and my knees are so bad that I probably wouldn't want a sports car. I would suffer to ride in the passenger seat of your Mercedes just because I love you. But I would probably get like a Range Rover. I think that's the route I'd probably go. Because it's up a little higher.
You can just swing out.
It's a little easier to go up for me than it is to go down. Baby, I'm having problems going down.
Go up and down.
Okay, sorry about that. I won't do that again. Sorry, brother. Anyway, so there are major differences between the new cars and the old cars, other than age, obviously. And it's really hard to find an old car now. Like, to get a vintage car to restore, it's a challenge.
Not only that, they're expensive.
Yeah, because if you, even to find a barn find in decent shape, like my brother just went and looked at one. It was just a mess, and they asked ridiculous money for them, and they're a mess. It's not like back in the day, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you could pick up a 70s car for $5,000 to restore, $4,000. But now it's like $20,000 to get a shell of shit.
Yeah, in the junkyard.
And it's a shell of shit.
Yeah, you gotta do body work on it.
You have nothing to work on. It's literally a shell of shit. But, the new cars, they have their pros, they have their cons.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be worth shit in 30 years.
No. But, okay, so why don't we go ahead and I'm going to let you list your pros and cons for new cars.
All right. Pros. Every model, like making, every model of car, like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Plymouth, whatever, they all look different. They didn't look...
For the old cars?
Yeah, like now, they all look the same, whether it's a freaking Toyota or, whatever, Nissan. Yeah. They all look...
So that's Chevy, one for old
Chevy,
cars.
Yeah, they all look the same. So, I think they were built better back then because you're using metal and all heavy stuff. Bad on gas. That would be a con.
They passed everything but a gas station.
Yeah, the interior looked a lot better back then. Like you had the wood grain, and they used to do just little special things back then. Now they don't.
Like the stitching, you can see the stitching and.
Yeah, you could have the same identical make and model of a car side by side, and it'd be something different about it, whether it's inside or outside. It wouldn't be exactly the same.
Yep.
So, and they're easy to work on.
Oh, they were definitely made for backyard mechanics. Nowadays, you're lucky if you can't even go and, like, what do you have to get codes and shit, right?
Yeah, they're all sensors. So.
Yeah, new cars, yeah. And who has one of those things? You have to go buy one of those things that blows a code.
Yeah, you stick it in your fuse box.
Oh, stick it in your fuse box.
You gotta stick it in there to get a response.
I can stick it in your fuse box. Hey, hold on, lady. I gotta stick this in your fuse box.
Yeah, go stick it in your fuse box.
My mama told me to stick this in your fuse box.
Alright, so for cons, for classic cars, finding parts, bad gas mileage. I don't think they're as safe as a new car because a new car has airbags and stuff. But and the last one is they're expensive. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, they are. It is definitely an expensive road to go down now to invest in a classic car. Like ridiculous. And there are people that have the money. you know? And like people I know that have built cars, and I do have a lot of friends. You know, I have a lot of friends, and I have family members and that have done this and have gone down this road. And it's not people that have a lot of money, you know? It's just people that work extremely hard and they put extra money aside and they have to save each week specifically for this part or for that part, you know? And they scrimp and they scrounge, and it takes them years to get this stuff done. But they're devoted to that vehicle. You know, it's not a whim. It's not, when you have a classic car, it's not a whim. It's not a passing fancy. It's not, I'm going to do this, and then a week later you change your mind. You know, they've devoted their life to it.
Yeah, but you're also making money because the appreciation of the car is going to go up.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, that's not where their thought process goes.
Oh, I know that.
They're
do it bits and pieces.
I think they're married to their cars as much as they're married to their spouses, or they're devoted to their cars as much as they're devoted to their jobs. You know, they make a commitment to that vehicle, and I think that's the difference between people with a classic car and people with a new car. Because I'll tell you what, if I had a 68 Charger or a 1970 Superbird or even a Javelin or any kind of classic car, I would be way more devoted to that than I am to my Jeep Cherokee sitting outside.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly devoted to this thing. You know, I take good care of it. You know, I'm way more devoted to this than I was to my Pathfinder. But could you imagine how devoted I would be?
If you're with a new car, you know, if you're married and say the husband or wife says, you know, if you don't get rid of that car, I'm going to divorce you. They wouldn't give a shit. They'd just go to the dealership, swap it out. If it was a classic car, like
you'd be like, here, let me give you the divorce papers. Yeah. Because I'm sorry, you don't do that. And if somebody loved somebody, they wouldn't do that anyway.
A lot of guys got rid of the Harleys for that same reason.
And I think that's bad on a wife. I think that's bad on a woman to do that. Honestly. Don't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you first date somebody, that they say, you know, I have, you know, a guy friend, or friends with him a long time.
You and I, perfect example of that.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, if you're telling them ahead of time, you already have it. So it's not like you get married, then you go out and spend the money and get it. You already have it.
Right. If this has been your affliction, we'll call it an affliction. If classic cars is your affliction, it's something that they know that you do. It's an adventure that you're on. It's an investment that you have made. And they know that when they fall in love with you, then they fell in love with that person that way. If you try to take that away from them, then you're the bad person. Because you're trying to break an appendage off.
Then it's a one-sided thing.
Right.
Because
then you're being selfish.
What is she giving up?
Right, you're being selfish. I mean, if you devote all of your time and all of your money into this other adventure instead of into your marriage and into your relationship, then you have a call for doing something. But it's not a one or the other. It's learn how to compromise and have both things. Because there's compromise in everything.
Yeah,
but
it's like people get together and say the woman has a couple of kids. The guy doesn't. And he already knows that going in, that she already has 2 kids.
Right.
And then is an asshole because she has 2 kids.
And she can't just do things.
You already knew that ahead of time.
Right. So, but we didn't even go over the fact that, I have pros and cons. So my pros for having a new car is it does have better gas mileage. I think that is a huge pro. They're easier to park. That's a huge pro. Because they're way smaller. Well, it depends on what you own, but I'll tell you what, I like parking my Jeep Cherokee over parking the old 68 Dodge Charger. You know what I mean? It's a heck of a lot easier. And it's kind of cool driving a spaceship, because that's kind of what you feel like you're driving when you're driving a new car compared to an old car. It's kind of like a spaceship. Everything's all light up, and that's kind of cool. But the cons is it's all plastic.
But driving them is a different story. You're going to have more enjoyment driving a classic car than you are.
But the feel of driving a new car is very different.
Oh, the old car suspension is horrible.
Yeah. Like, you feel every bump of the road. Riding with my brother in his car is like, I'm all over the place. I'm a big person. And to move me in my seat is that's a big deal.
But what a lot of guys do now, or women that get into restoring cars, is they'll actually do a modern chassis that'll have
but a real
suspension.
enthusiast doesn't.
Well, yeah, they want to go, but it's a
They
lot
go
more
traditional.
enjoyable driving it with modern suspension.
Yeah. But old cars, let's think of the old cars. Pros for old cars? For me, they're better looking. I think that an old car is better looking. And I think that an old car, because it's metal, you can hammer out dents easier. So, if somebody hits your car, chances are you can hammer out that dent, little bit of Bondo, little primer, you're good to go. I think they're better looking. Oh, wait, did I say that?
Yes.
I may have said that, but I really believe it. And they're bigger, so I think that causes a little bit of safety.
Yeah, some big
Because
ass
they're bigger.
cars.
Yeah, you ever drive in like a Chrysler 400, like the Chrysler 400s? Those big, huge ones?
The friggin' back seat's like a couch.
Yeah, talk about getting laid.
It's better than your bed at home.
Yeah. And you know what? I think they're better looking. And
Yeah, the older ones, because they use different kind of cloth and they had different designs.
I think that they're gonna get you laid. Think old cars, classic cars. You can be an ugly mother trucker in a car show with a classic car, and I guarantee you have better luck getting laid.
Well, yeah.
If you show up,
You roll up in a gremlin.
no.
You ain't gonna get anything.
I'm just saying, you roll up there in a '68 Camaro with the big old blower hanging up out of the hood, right? And a guy rolls up next to you in a, let's just say, a 2016, we'll go with Chevy, what are they called? Trax. We'll go with the Chevy Trax, little tiny SUV, the little crossover. And they roll up next to each other, right? 68 Camaro, big old blower, ghost flames. Then the guy with the Chevy Trax. They both get out and they're equally decent looking. Neither one of them is great looking. They're both kind of meh. I'm telling you right now, the dude with the Camaro's getting laid. The dude with the Trax is going home solo.
Yeah, he's gonna finish in the shower.
Yeah, he is. Speaking of finishing the shower, I think on that note, and talking about people getting laid, and just remember, older cars are sexier. I'm just saying. Oh, Mr. Carter! I have one more thing to say. We were talking in the last podcast about the commercial, because I said everybody that listens to this needs to tell 10 friends to listen to it too. And I challenged all of our podcast listeners. And I'm challenging all of you, too. Don't think you're getting off that easy. Unless you get off easy. I don't know. You may. I don't know. Anyway, I'm challenging you all. Each one of you to tell your friends. And they need to listen, too. So anyway, we were talking about how I knew it was a commercial. You tell to your friends, and she tells to your friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. Remember?
Yeah.
I looked it up. It was a commercial for Fabergé organic shampoo. And do you know who starred in that commercial? Heather motherfucking Locklear.
Yeah.
With her big old blonde feathered hair. Because it was 1984. How do you like them apples? A bad apple, get it? Okay, whatever. Maybe you don't, because maybe you're just not cool like Bad Apple. But whatever. So you tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and so on, and so on. So check us out on Apple the Bad. Apple the Bad is Instagram. The Bad Apple Podcast is on Twitter. BD Apple is on Facebook. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. Comment below. Let us know what your favorite car is. And tell us, do you prefer a new car or an old car? And if you agree or disagree, is the dude in the Trax getting laid, or is the dude in the Camaro getting laid? And I'm not even a Chevy fan, and I use Chevys. So, gotta give me mad props for that one, big brother. Okay, so peace out. Stay cool, like, I don't know. Who we staying cool like? Heather Locklear, and so on, and so on.